From that, the minority in parliament is raising concerns over what it describes as a dangerous power vacuum at the highest level of government. The caucus criticized the simultaneous absence of the president, vice president, and speaker of parliament from the country without the formal swearing in of an acting president. Citing Article 60 of the Constitution and a past Supreme Court ruling, they called the situation unconstitutional and warned that it undermines the rule of law and threatens Ghana's democratic stability. We're joined by MP for Swame and lead counsel for the minority, John Darko, to get more on this. Many thanks for joining us, Lawyer Darko. We know the president is on official assignment attending the African CEO Summit, and the VP, we also understand, has been unwell and out of the country, but thankfully recuperating. Next in command should be the Speaker of Parliament. Has there been any official notice of his absence to members of Parliament for which you will want to say there's a power vacuum?
Well, we are aware that the Speaker traveled out of the country on the 8th of April. That is last Thursday. We know for a fact that he is not in the country. And so obviously there cannot be any doubt as to the power vacuum created by the absence of the president. Now, for us, what is the most difficult thing is the fact that at the time the president was leaving the country, he knew that his vice was unwell and outside the country, and he also knew that the Speaker of Parliament was outside the country. Yet the president felt that it was okay to breach our constitution and just leave the country without anybody acting as a president. Look, this is not the first time a president and vice president have left the country, but at every turn we've had the Speaker of Parliament swearing the oath of president, acting as a president until the president returns. And so we see this act by the president as a very, very fundamental destruction of our constitution. This is a willful violation of the constitution. And look, as a country, we need to understand one thing. The reason why our constitution is said to be supreme is the fidelity we all, give to the constitution. The fact that we respect the constitution to the core. The fact that we respect the position of the constitution even when it is inconvenient. We don't respect the constitution only when it's convenient for us. And so really and truly, if the president wanted this constitutional crisis to be absent, so to say, then the president should have known better. He shouldn't have left the country. He should have either asked the speaker to return to the country, or he should have delegated somebody else to go out there for this official meeting. But for the president to willfully violate the constitutional provision, Article 60 of the Constitution, for us is a very dangerous precedent. The willful violation of the president is a very dangerous precedent that shouldn't be countenanced. Now, today, it is Article 60 he is breaking. Do you know which other provision in the Constitution is going to break? Is he going to now break Article 80 of the Constitution that gives everybody the right to fair hearing? Is he going to break the human rights provisions of the Constitution? And so this step-by-step erosion of the Constitution is what all of us as a country must guard against, we must fight against, and we must never encourage. And so I've made this point. If you look at our press release, we quoted the former president of the United States, what he said about even the American Constitution, that the gains we've made under that Constitution is not irreversible. If you do not, act in tandem with the Constitution, if you do not respect the constitutional provision, and as a country, we shouldn't allow these things to happen as if now the president is an emperor who can break the Constitution at will.
Right.
Is it what we are saying now? That this president...
Lawyer Darko, in the absence of these three, then what who can be sworn in, or what is the next move?
Well, by law, the Chief Justice should have been sworn in, but we don't have a Chief Justice right now.
Right.
We have an acting Chief Justice. And they know that, looking at his position, that the acting Chief Justice hasn't even come to Parliament for him to be vetted. So he's not the Chief Justice. He's only acting. And I wonder whether he can, act as a president. Now, that is a problem. So if the acting Chief Justice cannot take the oath of president and act as president, then the president should have known better. The president should have stayed in the country, or he should have recalled the speaker to come before he leaves out for the said meeting. We have the cases of Asari National General and others to guide us. Our Supreme Court has interpreted Article 60 that at some point somebody has to act as a president. It doesn't matter the argument that when the president is outside the country, he's still acting as a president. The framers of our constitution were clear in their minds when they made that provision. And so unless that provision is amended, we cannot act contrary to the provisions of the constitution. Now, if you look at what is happening, it looks like the president takes some of the constitutional provisions that are beneficial to him, that are very convenient to him, and he says, I am acting in accordance with the constitution. When parts of the constitution don't favor his cause, then he will step them. We cannot do that as a country.
Right. Lawyer John Darko, many thanks for speaking to us.